Hello everyone, this is Trainboy1522 Productions and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Kato N-Scale Union Pacific Big Boy number 4014. So right here we got the nice packaging with the locomotive on the box. We've got, of course, the Kato logo and the Union Pacific shield. And the part number on this is 126-4014, which is supposed to, reference the number. So let's get into it. So it has a slidey box, so you just pull it up. And when you take it out, we have the instruction manual. Talks about how you can handle the locomotive and to disassemble it. So yeah, that's the instruction. So that's not really the exciting part. So we want to get to the main part. So we have a piece of foam here to protect the locomotive. And right here is a coupler for the front of the locomotive. I can zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in. Oh, it's going to go out of focus, but yeah, it's a coupler for the front of the locomotive. So if you want to have a coupler on the front and double head. So that's that. And then in here we have the locomotive itself. Packaged in the plastic here, so all I'm gonna do is take it out. So, and here's the in the packaging. We have more styrofoam and all that. So let's take it out of the packaging. You just have to open up these tabs, and then we have a piece of plastic here to protect the locomotive. And we have this piece to protect the pilot, and then we have the locomotive itself. So just gotta get it out. So, and there you have it. Alright guys, so here is the Big Boy 4014 model out of the box. So before I talk about the details on the locomotive and review it, I'm going to recap the history of this locomotive. So this locomotive was built in 1941 by the American Locomotive Company, or ALCO for short, in Schenectady, New York, and was delivered to the Union Pacific around December of that year to assist with wartime traffic demands. And the locomotive was particularly used on the Sherman Hill, between Sherman Hill, Echo Canyon, and Weaver Canyon, which goes between Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Ogden, Utah. And the locomotive was retired in 1959 and replaced by the turbine locomotives, and was put on display in Pomona, California around that same year. The locomotive was later acquired by Union Pacific in 2013 and brought back to service in 2019 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the Transcontinental Railroad, and still does excursions to this day. And yeah, that's about it for the history of the locomotive. So let's take a look at the details now. So the front of the locomotive features the 4014 number plate right here, if you can see that there. We got the headlight, and then we got, oh, it's going out of focus. Here we got the grab iron, which goes over the headlight. And up here we've got the bell, which does not swing. Of course, because it's an N-scale model. But anyway, here we got the flying number boards, which are put next to the headlight, and down here we've got the pilot, which you can swap out for the pilot with the coupler on it. And right here we got a box which keeps some of the parts in it, particularly blue safety flags to keep the locomotive safe. And right here we've got a grab iron going over the smoke box. We got grab iron. We still got grab irons over the pilot right here. Grab irons on the sides right here. We also got marker lights right here too, on each side. And if you can't see it, let me create a shadow right there. But right there is the big boy in chalk lettering. It's going out of focus. So you can see right there. It's pretty hard to tell, but it's there. So that's the front of the locomotive, so let's look at the side of it. So the side of the locomotive, we've got the pilot truck right here, and right above it we've got a piston for this first set of drivers right here. And we also got piping along the sides right here. And up here we have got the smokestack right up here. Here we got the golden whistle right here. And up here we have the two sand domes for each driver set. And in between them we have a steam dome and these pop-off valves right here, and a couple pop-off valves over here. And down below right here we've got the other pair of cylinders, the other pair of pistons. And what's neat about these is that Kato added a feature onto it to make it run smoother, and these go up and down to if it goes over rough track, which is really neat. And we've got more piping over here. And over here we've got the second set of drivers. Right over here. And right here we've got the trailing truck, which sits on the firebox and cab. So here we got the firebox itself. And one of the things I like about this model over the Ather mod, which we will check out, which we will compare the two later, is that it does not have the ash pan. And I'm pretty happy with that Kato decided to do it without the ash pan, since this is an oil burning steam locomotive. And now the Ather model is also represents the oil burning big boy, but it still keeps the ash pan in it since it's used. It's a used model since they make several models with the coal, since they make the coal burning big boys too. So I'm really happy with that result. So right here we have the cab, which has the 4014 number on the side, and below it we have some writing over here, and we have more piping that goes to the cab, and that's about it for the locomotive. So let's take a look at the tender. So the tender is a centipede tender. And one of the things that is neat about it is that this is also representing the Challenger's tender, since currently right now 4014 has the Challenger's tender. And yeah, it's pretty neat, since the tenders were swapped, since they used it to speed up the restoration, since they're pretty much almost identical. But eventually 4014's original tender and the Challenger's tender will be swapped to their original locomotives. So the Challenger will get its tender back eventually once the 4014's tender is complete. But anyway, we've got, since this is a centipede tender, we have it has 14 axles, or 7 axles, and right here we've got a bogie, which has 4 trucks on it, 4 wheels, and right here we've got the 5 wheels right here, And in order for it to go around tight curves, Kato made this one swivel separately than the rest of them. But even though it's not like that in real life, but they did that so then it would be able to navigate tight curves. But when you put it on the track, it's hard to notice. So yeah, here we got the Union Pacific lettering on the side. Right here we've got some extra labeling, which I think is for parts in it. Up here we've got the oil bunker right here, and we got the water bunker here with water hatches on top. And here we got the ladder right here. And that's about it for the side of the tender, so let's take a look at the back. And so the back of it has two headlights, or two backup lights right here, which don't work. We also have the UP 4014 lettering right here. And under here we've got what's in it. Right here we've got some more labeling, which says 25,000 gallons, which is how much water it takes in the tender. So, nice. So yeah, it's going out of focus, but there you have it. You can barely see it, but yeah. Here we got the coupler right here, which is a regular Kato coupler. Now the other side is pretty much the same, except right here we got a box on the side, and the other side of the big boy is pretty much the same. So yeah, that's about it for the model itself. So let's compare it to the after model and take a look at some differences. Alright, so I have the after model and the Kato model next to each other, and we're going to compare some differences. So I did do a review on the after model a couple years back, so if you want to check out the video, go click the link in the description and it will be there. And so yeah, so we're going to take a look at some differences about it. So one of the differences that you can't really tell is that the after model on the left right here is representing the 2019 version of it, when it was running in 2019 to celebrate the 150th anniversary. And over here on the Kato model, it represents the model of it when it was running during the 2021 season. So yeah. And one of the things that the after model has is that the coupler right here actually does swing open. The pilot actually has a coupler which swings open right here, so you can barely see it, but let's see if we can zoom in. But yeah, there's the coupler right there. It will actually swing open. So yeah, that's that. And one of the things I actually did notice is that some people don't really know this, but about the after model, but one of the things that the after model did get incorrect is that the grab iron on the front here is actually lower, is actually a bit higher than it is normally, and when in reality it's supposed to be a bit lower right around here. And Kato actually fixed that right here. And yeah, the only thing that Kato has, which actually kind of looks a bit accurate, is that the grab iron on the smoke box is actually gray, which it is in real life, while the after model is black. But it does make it a bit noticeable anyway, so yeah. So the headlight on the front is, I think, incandescent right here, so yeah. And the grab iron on over the headlight is a bit smaller and not that noticeable. The number plates is also a bit different too. So there's the Athearn and then there's the Kato. So yeah, so we're going to take a look at the sides. So of course the sides of the locomotive are pretty much similar. So here we got Kato, which we reviewed, and then here we've got the Athearn on this side. And here's the thing I did talk about the Athearn model, is that the ash pan's still here, which it is. So you can see that, which is kind of incorrect, but whatever. And we also have more valves right here. And yeah, that's about it for that side. And also the tender right here on the Ather model is actually representing the big boy's original tender, which also is kind of inaccurate, but it kind of gives it kind of a neat look because it kind of represents what the 4014 will look like when its original tender gets married back with it. And another thing on the back is that their 4014's number is not on the back on the Ather model, but it is on here. And another thing that's kind of neat about the Ather model is that it has a backup light that actually does light up. Well, the Kato one doesn't. So yeah, and then we also got some marker lights. So yeah, and also the Ather model actually does have a little bit more detail on the top of the tender, like the dipsticks, like some more water, some more hatches for the oil, and the Ather model also has the drivers, which are like still made of silver, but they're hard to notice. They look a little bit black, while on Kato they're a lot more noticeable in silver. Another thing is that about the smoke boxes on both locomotives is the color. So the Ather model the color is a bit darker, which is actually good because it is a bit darker on it in real life, while the Kato model is a bit more silvery look. Now, the Ather model actually looks a little bit better with the black, looking a bit more gray, since it's like that in real life, but yeah, it's not really that bad. But yeah, that's about it for the review of both of these locomotives. So we're gonna take a look at the Kato one running, and yeah, so let's take a look at it running, and I will also finish off the video with a run by. So let's take it over to the layout. Alrighty, so here it is on the layout. It is pulling a Union Pacific excursion train, which you can see right around here. It goes all the way around, and I have a UP intermodal set up too, but we'll run that later. But yeah, here we have the locomotive on the layout, and I have it paired up with its running mate, which is Union Pacific SD70M number 4015, if it can go in focus. There we go. So yeah, there's its running mate, 4015, which I'll be doing a separate review on it, along with the WeAre1 SD70M number 1979, which is right over there. I'll be doing a separate review on it in the future, so be on the lookout for that video when it comes out. But yeah, here we have the locomotive on the tracks. So that's about it for this video. So I'm going to be doing a run-by with this locomotive, so hopefully you like this video, and make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and click the bell for notifications. And as always, this is Trainboy1522 Productions, signing off.